Okay, here we are. We're going to pull this tire off, knock the bearing buddy off, pull the bearings off, the hub, pull the hub off and the bearings, and clean them up and give them a good check, and we'll check the races. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about tools you're going to need. I have a jack stand under there. You got to lift the tire up off the ground a little bit. A lug wrench. I'm going to be using my impact driver. Baby, later, okay? Let me pick you up later. Hammer, slip joint pliers, pair of needle nose, pair of safety glasses, a container to put your bearings in, to dump a little cleaning fluid in there to clean them up, and we'll talk about the cleaning fluid later. And we're going to get started, but before that, I want to tell you a little story, personal story. Back when my wife and I were courting, I told a friend of mine this last night. One of the things that made me realize that I was going to marry that woman was I showed her how to do a brake job on her Datsun B210. And I did one side, and she watched me, and I gave her the tools, and she did the other side. And my wife has never conformed to the parameters, the restrictions that society seems to place on women, and that women seem to fall prey to, that they can't do this or that because of their anatomy. And my wife has never fallen for that. My wife drove an 18-wheeler, rode her own motorcycle. I mean, she's girly in every way, but she doesn't accept the restrictions that our society seems to place on women. And I like that about her. And she's going to do this for me. She's going to show you how to do this. She's never done it, and I'm going to have to talk her through it, but she can handle tools, and I just want to show you that women are only restricted by their physical strength, in my opinion. I think men and women are capable of doing the same jobs for the same pay, and the only restrictions that a woman might have is something that requires an enormous amount of physical strength. So let's get the party started. All right, here we go.
Oh, didn't get it all the way off.
That one's on there tight. It's a wreck.
Just about.
Alrighty. Okay, now what we want to do is take a hammer, and you want to
that stuff off?
Yeah, you want to wrap this this bearing buddy. That's got to come off, okay. And the only way it comes off is from the side. Yeah. There you go. I'll get it later, huh?
I got it.
Okay. You need to wipe the grease off and see if you can find that cotter pin.
It's right there.
Okay, you need to take the needle nose.
Yeah.
Unbend the cotter pin and see if you can pull it out.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. I know who put the grease in this.
Yeah, well, that's
Overkill.
I had. Well, it lasted 20 years. I wouldn't be doing this if it hadn't loosened up. What she's doing is knocking the cotter pin out, and she's going to try to grab a hold of it with the needle nose. It might be a little hard. You might need my superhuman strength on that.
I might. Let's just say.
If nothing else, maybe you can slip one of the noses in the hole of that cotter pin. All right, you got it. Now what you need to do is wipe that grease. There's a nut underneath all that grease. It's called a castle nut. And you'll see once we get it cleaned up why it's called a castle nut.
Are you going to keep that cotter pin?
Yeah, well, maybe not. I mean, if it's in that bad a shape, I got a million of them. Yeah, if you can. unthread that nut, take it completely off. I got gloves if you want them.
It's just grease. It's not poop.
I think you can do it with your fingers because it's not very tight. Yep. There you go. Yeah, there's going to be a washer behind that.
Okay.
If you can grab it with your fingers, do. But if not, maybe I got a screwdriver over there. Okay. Okay, now you're going to want to grab a hold of the hub and pull towards you, and the outer bearing is going to come off with it. You may have to tug and tug and tug, or not. Yeah, here it comes. Good deal.
You want it all to come off?
All of it come off,
All right.
yep. All right, now flip it over, and there's another bearing on the inside, and
Okay.
we may have to knock that out, but
Will it go to the other side?
no, it should come out this way. But that's good. That's the race and everything. I'm going to shut this off, and we're going to get it on my bench in the shop and clean this up real good so people can see what we're looking at. But let me get a good shot of that spindle. The spindle looks really good.
Can we wipe it off?
Yeah, wipe it off good, and we'll check for scoring or wear marks on the spindle. And run your fingers over it and see if you feel anything that doesn't feel smooth. Like where metal, the metal may have galled it or scratched it or put gouges in it or something like that.
No, just that one seam,
Yeah,
right there.
That's in the middle of the hub. There's no bearings that ride on that, so.
That's the only thing I feel.
And there's a groove. There's a worn mark right here. See that shiny mark on the back end of the spindle? That's where the grease seal on the back of this hub, this grease seal here, which holds the grease in, that's the wear mark from that. Now, normally,
Now see the groove, see it?
yep,
Right there.
people would replace the grease seal, but since I have bearing buddies and I'm diligent about keeping this greased, I don't mind if some of the grease leaks out the grease seal. So I'm not going to replace the grease seal. I'm not going to replace the bearings or the races if I don't have to. What I'm going to do is clean everything up.
Oh, there's a ton of grease in
Yeah,
there.
I know.
How did you get that in there?
It'll have to be pushed out with a punch, not a punch, but a flat punch from the other side. We'll have to turn it over and knock it out.
Yeah.
And we'll take it in my shop. But first, we're going to clean this up a little bit so we can handle it, because I don't want this icky grease in my shop.
I don't want this on my driveway.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Okay, I was wrong, mistaken. I was giving you erogenous information. That grease seal has to come out in order to get this back bearing out of the hub. And there's only one way to get the bearing out, and that's to get ugly with it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get ugly with it.
Give it a couple of good wraps.
Got something else to,
Yeah,
like a,
no, not really. Nothing that'll get in there.
well, this
You
ain't
want to
going
film
in
me?
there.
I'll try it.
This ain't going in there.
All right. All right, I'm just going to have to beat the crap out of it. Yes, this is a screwdriver. Wah. It's coming. There's no way to get to it with the punch because the bearing's in the way. There we
There we go.
All right. Yeah, it appears I need a grease seal, huh? All right, here's the other bearing.
Yeah.
And I can't tell 100%, but it looks good. I don't see any metal. There's nothing weird back here. And the race, right in here, the race appears to be good, but we'll get this all cleaned up and give it a good inspection before we put it back together. But in the meantime, I gotta go get some grease seals. And I guarantee you there's gonna be people complaining about me using a screwdriver to get this out, but that's okay.
It's a junky screwdriver.
It was a junky screwdriver. Okay, be back in a minute. Okay, I've got this cleaned up enough where I can inspect the races, and they're all okay. The races, in case you don't know, are where the bearings ride on. They're machined to closer tolerances than the rest of the hub. And if you have bearings that have gone bad, chances are they've galled these races. And these races press in and out. Now you can take them in and out with a long punch if you're careful. And I've done it a bunch of times. You can do it. And when they sell bearings, most of the time they come with races. But you know, if the races aren't bad and they're not worn, there's no need to replace them because it's a lot more work. Okay, it was hard to find the grease seal because this grease seal has no numbers on it. So the guy had to measure it, and since I sort of deformed it, he was making a real guess. But he found me the right grease seal. $20 for 2 grease seals. So I got all my bearings cleaned out, and all I did was put in my secret cleaning solution, let them soak a little bit, take a brush, my secret cleaning solution. I would never suggest anybody use gasoline because it's got a lot of fumes, and you know, gas is highly flammable, so I won't mention my cleaning solution again, but you use what you want, and what I've used has worked for my entire adult life. So here we go. I'm going to get my wife out here. You want to be absolutely certain that there's no cleaning solution left in these, and you do that by blowing them out or just setting them in the sun, because it will dilute the grease when you pack them. And that's the next step. We're going to pack these. Alright, this is repacking the bearings. You take little bites and you force that grease up in there until it comes out the other side of the bearings. You're forcing it in the bottom, and you want it to come out the top. Yeah, it's messy, and you'll have to keep doing that.
It's like making a cherry cobbler. That's what it looks like.
This is bearing grease, by the way.
But it hasn't come all the way to the top.
It will, but
I just keep doing it?
yeah, I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna show you how I do it.
Okay.
And we'll clean you up and you can record me. You see the grease starting to come up the top of the bearings there? See the grease coming up?
I can.
Okay.
Let me see the top of it. Let me see.
Starting to squeeze up Through the top?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Get it?
I get it.
There you go. Just like that.
Okay.
And do that all the way around. All the way around to be sure every little needle bearing gets grease in it. I still got a little more to get in there. All right. This bearing is conically shaped, and the race that it rides on is conically shaped. And you want to drop that bearing in where the conical shape rides against each other. Just drop it in.
It stuck to my finger.
There you go. Now we want to tap that seal in there, and it's going to take a little bit of doing to get it started. Just like that. You want the rubber facing outwards. Yep, you had it right. And take our impact device. Yeah, you want to start it carefully. You want to...
Okay. Okay. I can do this. I really can. How do you know when to stop? When it's flush?
Flush. Bang it down flush. Perfect. God, I love you. Alright, now we take the other bearing, the castle nut, the washer, and the bearing buddy, and we go back out to the trailer, and you put this on this end first. And I'll shut this off and we'll carry everything out there. Okay, we got the spindle mostly cleaned up. It's, you know, where the grease seal is going to ride. You want to clean all the dirt and grime off of that. Okay, and pick the hub up and slide it on there, and you want to make sure that rubber grease seal comes up over this little ridge right here.
Okay.
You'll feel it when it slides up on it. I think you got it. All right, now...
well, when I let go, it's going to come back off of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Now take the other bearing and slide it in there, and make sure the cone meets up with the other cone. And then the washer.
Doesn't matter?
No.
It went this way.
It doesn't matter. And then the castle nut.
Am I doing it right?
No, the castle nut has to go
that's
facing
right.
you, right?
That's right. I remember.
Because the cotter pin has to go through them indentations.
We're not going to put any more grease in there? Oh, that's the grease buddy. Yeah.
Right. When I put the bearing buddy in there, I'll pump it full of grease. Alright, give that hub a couple of good turns, and push up against it with two hands, on one hand on either side, just to make absolutely certain that it is. Will that tighten up anymore by hand?
That's it.
Okay. What you want to do now?
You want to leave this there,
the grease? No,
yeah.
it don't matter.
It's old grease.
Yeah. Okay. What you want to do is grab the hub and see if there's any play. Wiggle it.
Nope.
Pull it in and out.
Nope.
No play. Well, does it turn fairly freely? Yeah. Now let me see how tight this is. Get the channel locks, open them up. Try to put 1/2 a turn on that. or maybe a quarter turn.
I can.
Yeah, that's a little too tight. Go ahead and back it off. Now, see
Okay.
if you can make that cotter pin fit in that hole and match one of them slots. Because if we have to move it in any direction, we want to go backwards. We want to loosen it instead of tighten it. I think it was right here.
Well, yeah, that seam.
Is there so? Okay, back it off just enough where that cotter pin will slide through there.
I think there it is. Let me
One.
see. Okay.
Will it go all the way through?
Yeah,
Push it all the way through. And then take your needle nose and bend them tabs to the other end of it. Bend them back around the castle nut.
Okay, do you want to have this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Does it matter which way the eye's facing?
No, it doesn't. It just bend one of them legs one way and the other way.
Toward me?
No, around the castle nut.
Oh. No.
One of them legs sticks out further than the
Yeah?
other. Just
Okay.
take that one and bend it backwards around the castle nut.
Like this?
Yep, just like that. There you go. And it has to be inside where that bearing buddy is going to ride, so it has to be kind of tight.
Yeah. Alright, I'll get it. Let me take a minute.
The channel locks might work easier, huh?
Yeah. Does it matter where it goes in there?
Okay, we're going to put the bearing buddy in there. And just if you can get it just caught. Oh, we got to be square, absolutely square with that. It's a little bit crooked on the. There you go.
Now is it?
Yep, that's good.
Okay.
Now hold the piece of 2x4 up flat against that, real square, and it's gonna. Here, I'll hold it, hon, because it's gonna take the hammer and beat on it, knock that thing in there. Yep, that's good. That's perfect. All right, now we can put the tire on. I got to put a new battery in that impact wrench, so give me a second. All right.
Ugh. I hurt my surgery.
You're
gonna put these.
All right, crank one down and then turn it 180 degrees and crank the other one down and then just go to town.
Okay.
And the bottom of that trigger is what tightens it.
Okay. That's not good.
All right. Well, now you see, anybody can do it.
Okay.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah, that's fine. You know, we could have used my screwdriver to do that.
Your butter knife?
My butter knife.
Yeah. Well, thanks, son, and thanks for being part of the video and showing other gals that there's no reason not to attempt things that maybe they've never done before. And I appreciate you helping me. So let me know when you're done with the other side, and when is supper?
Yeah.
Thank you. I love you.